first couple of dates, and the time between these meetups, the days seem to rush by in a blur of passion and excitement. We're so caught up in the thrill of meeting someone new that we can't even step back and process what's going on. Although we might feel lost in this whirlwind of emotions, our relationships usually stick to a pretty common formula. Here are a few stages that almost all relationships will follow. The first stage, attraction. Our relationships first begin when we set eyes on our new partner. Although we haven't started dating yet, we feel an undeniable pull towards this enchanting new person. At this point, you might walk up and introduce yourself. Who knows, you might even start flirting, dropping a compliment here and there. And in 2019, this initial stage might not even take place in person. Many people meet someone new on social media or through a dating app. The second stage, learning more about them. Once we're attracted to someone, we usually feel a desire to learn more about them. Sometimes we discover more about this person through conversation, and sometimes we learn more about them after checking out their social media profiles. Better yet, we might even ask mutual friends for more juicy details about this new person. All of this new information helps us decide whether or not they're a good fit. The third stage, building comfort and trust. In an article published by Oxford's Department of Experimental Psychology, comfort and trust was identified as a major stage in all relationships. This is when both partners start to let their guards down, testing the waters to see if the relationship might be stable and sustainable in the future. During this stage, it helps if partners are honest, nonviolent, and forgiving. Interestingly, Oxford researchers stated that physical touch is incredibly effective when it comes to building trust. The fourth stage, actually going on dates. At this point, we go on dates regularly. In previous stages, we might have been a little unsure about our partners, but now we've settled into a comfortable rhythm of dating and consistently enjoying each other's company. As we date more and more, both partners build a stronger connection based on mutual interests, trust, and attraction. By the end of this stage, we're comfortable with being vulnerable around them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Sunday to everyone. This is Table Talk with Rita Felleh Arah, the CEO and founder of Daughters of Sierra Leone. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. I want to thank you for tuning in and watch us. Let's discuss. Today we're going to be discussing about dating and courting. So today here I have with me my beautiful and amazing guest. I have Mr. Samuel. Samuel, can you please introduce yourself, please?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're listening to us or watching. I am Samuel Omotosho, an HR professional and life development coach. I work with Advanced Nigeria, and I also work with Daughters of Sierra Leone. It's good to be here. I believe it's going to be an amazing time together. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Samuel. I have with me Mr. Abdullahi. Abdullahi, are you there? Okay, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you're watching us. I goes by the name Abdullahi Kemo Conte. I happen to be the founder and CV of IT Specialists Without Borders.
Thank you, Abdullahi. Happy Sunday again, once again. If you're viewing us today, you're on PROIB blog, and you've been viewing as well as Bantu blog and on Facebook page as well, Daughters of Sierra Leone, on my personal page, Rita Felleh Arah. And happy Sunday. Be part of this conversation. If by any chance you want to be part of this broadcast, you can join on PROIB blog and Bantu blog as well, and DOSL Daughters of Sierra Leone page as well. So like we are here today, let's discuss, be part of this conversation, because we don't know it all, but we can try to do the best that we can. So today our topic, as you all know, so be part of this conversation. So Abdullahi, I will go to you first. What do you think about dating and courting? What do you think? Or if you want to go with the dating first, and then whatever you choose to answer.
Okay, let me start. I'm going to start with dating. For sure, I define dating as this is a actual point where two individuals comes together to complement each other's excesses. So literally, That's the first step. That's the first step. Sorry, in every relationship, that's the discovery part. Where two people come together to complement each other's excesses. When it comes now to courtship, that's I see that one as a final stage. That is where the ground rules are set. You know, it's just like scientists. Um, in dating, you've already done the discovery. So now in courtship is actually now the breeding ground. You've already ascertained. That's the conclusion part where you feel comfortable that this individual I'm actually going into. You've already gotten all what you needed. So that's courtship. So dating is a discovery part, and courtship is actually where the ground rules are set. But this is it. When it comes to dating and courtship, there are procedures and steps. So one of the steps, before entering into dating or courtship is one, you should know God. That's the first step. Um, Sometimes I tell people when I do advise young lady, I tell them you can never know nobody if you don't know God. In the book of Matthew 6:36, it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things shall be added unto you." So that's the premise in every relationship, in every courtship or dating. You should know God. You can never know the authenticity of a product if you don't know the manufacturer. How do we know iPhone is good? Because we know the manufacturers. So that's the first step. And the second step is what? Forgetting the past. This is the reason why a lot of young ladies are being single today. The issue of holding on to the past. The past is past. I tell young ladies what has passed before is already past. Holding on to the past, taking this same baggage, carrying it into your new relationship is not good. In the book of Philippians 3:13, it said, "Brethren, I count myself not to be apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind me and reaching forth for those things which are in front." So what has passed has passed. But you see young ladies today, even though the correct man is coming, talking to you, she'll be like, this is how Samuel came. For instance, this is how Samuel came. Samuel spoke more than you, just because they have this mentality,
Um,
So I'm going to stop here for now and allow other speakers to carry on.
well, thank you, Abdullah, for that contribution. I would like to introduce Essay. Ibene, if you can introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. I'm Essie Ayubene, counseling psychologist, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm also a very active volunteer with Dr. Sarah Lone. I work directly with Mama, and I'm so happy to be discussing this interesting topic. I'm already smiling over here.
Thank you, Essay. Samuel, let's just jump to with, and then we'll come back again and visit some things that I have said for speaker. So Samuel, do you have anything to add to what Samuel? Okay, Essay, you can go ahead. Essay, do you want to go ahead to talk
Yeah,
more
there
on?
was something he said that made me smile. Mr.
Right.
Abdullahi, why do you say that women hold on to the past? What do you mean by that?
Because it's something I've experienced.
Okay.
I've experienced it.
Okay,
And when it comes to
I think it's not
majority,
a gender
let me say
thing.
no, let me say out of 100%, 65 of the female these days, they hold on to the past.
Okay.
Can I?
I
Okay,
Go ahead.
Mama, can I say something? So
Go ahead.
what you are saying, you are also holding on to the past too, because it shows you've experienced it with ladies, and you believe that most ladies are like that. Humans naturally we learn from experience, and when we experience something, we take it as a general, like this general statement. They say that women like money, men like women with curves. So there's this general generalizations that happens when you do you understand what I mean, Mr. Samuel? Do you understand, Mr. Abdullahi? There's this
Yeah.
tendency to
For sure.
generalize with our own personal experience. So it is not gender specific to say women hold on to the past. We all do, both men and women. Even you as a man, you are saying this because you experienced it. So you are also holding on to that fact. So it's because you've experienced it, you believe that women hold on to the past. And in saying that, you are also holding on to a concept and an ideology from your experience. So you're holding on to your own past. We are humans. We cannot separate ourselves from our experiences. All we do is learn from them. Sometimes some good lessons, some bad. But I don't think it would be fair to say women, like in general, we hold on to the past. It's a human flaw. It's normal. I don't think there's anything wrong in that per se. So all of us, we need to learn and not hold on to our past, but it's not gender specific. Over to you,
Thank,
Mama. Are you still there?
thank,
All right.
I'm here. Thank you so much. Um, Samuel, do you have anything to add before I come in?
Yes, yes, it's getting interesting actually, because I've said something similar to that earlier before we go live. Dating. I would like to start with dating. You know, dating is more or less like a stage in romantic relationship whereby both partners try to observe and try to understand whether this person I can go to the next stage of my life with, with this particular person. And like the video we watched earlier, uh, it's very important for us to note that the attraction is the basis, but that may not actually be the most important, because sometimes our feelings don't lead us right sometimes. But as much as it is what it is, feelings is also important. There will be a strike, like a chord, a connection between you and the person you want. So later, you can now begin to check whether those feelings are true. So for me, at this dating stage, it's still more of feelings, more of attraction. Then, like what SA said when he said that the general conception, ideology that men like the curves, why women like money, you understand? As general as that can be, there is an element of truth in it. So for guys that love the curve, definitely when they see anybody, any lady with those curves, definitely it will be attracted, like wow. And I like this person. That's the first point of attraction. Or maybe some ladies like guys that are huge, six pack, broad chest, beards, guys like me, like this. All right. So these are some attractions. Basically, can be the look, can be intelligence, the way someone speaks, the way someone walks. A lot of things can contribute to that. But that's the basis. Then we begin to check thereafter. Okay, what are other things that I think are not just physical, are not just those things that I can really see by mere seeing this person. I need to come closer and learn about this person the more, if I can actually go further. So let me stop there. That dating is a stage in a romantic relationship where both male and female are attracted to each other to consider whether going forward to the next stage, which is what we talk about later, courtship. So let me stop there to listen to other speakers.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching the Sunday, I see my Monatu Ture, he's giving us love, and I see O'Shea. If I'm not pronouncing your name very well, please bear with us. Very nice. So she likes the topic. So on my end, we're still expecting two more guests to join us in the studio today. So if you're watching, happy Sunday again. If you're joining, please send your comments. So that's the only way we can know that you're watching us. We want to say, if you want to join this, be part of this conversation, you can join us from PROIB blog, and you can join us as well on Bantu blog. and you can contribute. Let's be part of this conversation because it's a very, very important conversation that us as Africans, we read into things differently. Like Abdullah was just saying about women, women. Dating, when you are dating someone, and if you already have, let's say, if you're eating a food and a rice, and then you taste a sand, right? Like, or stone on the rice, you taste it, and you're like, oh, this is sand or stone. So automatically, everything's, if you're eating another rice, you are always observant. You always like, okay, I've chewn a stone before, and I don't want to repeat that. So it's just like in a relationship. If you've dated someone before and you've have a bad experience with that, and so when someone else wants to come in, you be like, is that person gonna be the same? But as men, you have to prove yourself that you are different from the other. Solomon is different from Mamadou. Mamadou is different from Alusain. Alusain is different from Abraham. You understand? So I feel like, okay, we always have that. If we already have this bitter experience, we'll be like, it's not like you are taking it into the relationship, but you're being careful, you're being mindful because of what it, which is normal. Even men, they will go and say, oh, I'm dating someone, she's like this, but that doesn't categorize, like, it doesn't say, okay, all women are the same. So for me personally, I hate when someone just generalize, because there are some good men, we have some wonderful and incredible women out there. So all are not the same. All men are not the same. Like I could say, for my husband is the best thing when people are looking for who you want to date. For me, I can't ask God for anything more than what God gave me, right? Because when I was looking for a partner, I'm looking for a man. I was not looking for physical appearance. I love physical appearance, but God just give it to me that way that I have it all. But I was looking for a man that has fear of God in him. So that's what I was looking for. So we all have different things that we want. Some people want a guy with a six pack. Some people have like a man with very buff. Some women like men, very intelligent men. So we all have differences what we love, and most men, they like a smart woman. They love women with a big curves. They love women that are very pretty, like Kim Kardashian. Some of them, but guess what? If you don't have Kim Kardashian, you have African princess. So I believe we should go with that. So Abdullah, will come back to you again if you have anything to say or add to what I just.
For sure, for sure. Let me first. I want to go into what Essed said. Essed, let me correct the missing pieces here. Um, it's actually not as if even myself I'm holding on to the past. Or sorry if actually I generalized the whole concept about women, but I haven't done my survey. Essed, you are free to do your survey as well. But when it comes to people holding on to the past, is more likely of women than men. It's just like the saying, men are logical, women are emotional. Do you agree or not? So that's why. Let me just correct that.
You.
Then carry on, Esther. Yes, you want to say something?
Mm.
Hello. Let me go ahead.
Go, go ahead.
Okay.
So
So
me,
I've already corrected that.
let me
With
that
Esther.
pocket.
So to Samuel, Samuel made mention about attraction. Even Mama said made mention about attraction. It's very good. We all have basis. We all have standard, or we all have something. When it comes to dating someone. But usually I say that thing you are watching for should not be a premise in the relationship. For instance, if you are dating someone just because this young lady is beautiful, let's say for instance, what if tomorrow, if she gave birth to one or three and that beauty goes away? If you love a man because this man is tall or this man is handsome, what if tomorrow, if that individual automatically end up in having accidents? So all these things should be secondary. I'm not saying you should not have a premise. Yeah, for instance, I have certain things I'm watching for in every lady. For instance, the individual should be, of course, beauty, but beauty here, sometimes I say the true beauty of a woman is not her face, is her character. How best she can give the man peace. That's my own definition of beauty when it comes to beauty. So of course, like I said, we all have standard when it comes to relation, but it should not be a premise. Sometimes I say any relationship that starts on the premise of something, it ends with that same thing. For instance, if a relationship starts with money, it ends with money. If it starts with abusive language, it ends with abusive language. So let me just stop with that point. Another point I want to make, I've already made 3 points, when I started earlier with my submission. Another point when it comes to dating and courtship that people should understand is submission. And this one is going again for the women. I know SN you come again and blush at me. This actually again is going for women. And what is submission? Submission is allowing your will, your thought, and all what you know to be neutralized under the man which God has placed on top of you. A lot of young ladies these days don't want to be submissive. I stand to be corrected. But a lot. This is why a lot of relationships are not moving ahead. A lot of marriages are being broken because of submission. You see, we need to correct one thing. This topic of women emancipation has not been defined in its true context. Women emancipation doesn't mean women should challenge men. It was not a mistake when God made us before you guys. Oh, it wasn't a mistake.
Okay, this is where I come in, Abdullah. First of all, it's how the man is saying the message and how we. Some men, the tonation, it all depends on tonation. How you said it to me. If you say, "Hey, baby, would the we were wearing yesterday," it was very short, but I would have liked if it goes down a little bit. It just depends. Adama, welcome, welcome, welcome. Adama S.
Hello,
Oro.
good evening.
Adama, you want to introduce yourself, please? Adama,
Yeah,
you want to please?
Adama is Kamara from Sierra Leone.
You, Adama, with and I'm seeing my beautiful Melrose earlier, but we are having a hard time joining. Our, so Melrose, if you're hearing, we're here still. We still have conversation. And happy Sunday once again. If you want to join, be part of this conversation, send any message to us. You can join from PROIB blog, and you can join on to blog and Daughters of Sierra Leone, and you can find personal page Rita Felleh Arah. Felicia, thank you so much for the love. Right into it. Abdullah. First of all, like for me personally, as a Sierra Leonean girl, and we for me when I met my husband, we have cultural difference. First of all, right? When a Nigerian man talk, they have power, authority, like they use this old voice, like, oh, this is this, I was like, okay, you can't talk to me like that. And I'm a princess in my own world, right? And I said, no, tell me in a nicer way. A nicer way to be, baby, can you please? I Some of our men don't like to hear this, but it's the truth. Tonation matters in it's not how you say, but it's how the other person from the other hand receives the message. And if we can be nice, I know you guys are expecting from us dating us or Carlton, most of the times you guys fall short too. You guys ask things in a very aggressive. I'm not saying this because of I'm a woman, but being in both, I'm playing in both shoes here. Right. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I, I want to eat I want to eat cassava leaf right now. Or ask, baby, are you in the mood or are you feeling okay to prepare cassava leaf? You will invite friends over, not asking how I feel, I'm in that mood to accept guests, but you just bring it over. So guess what? If I didn't do it, I'm a bad girlfriend. If I didn't, I'm a bad person, right? So we don't put our spouse or our we don't put them in we put them first. We only think about ourselves. So that could be a problem as well. I don't know, Abdullah, you're itching. So do you want to say something to that?
Yeah, for sure, Mama.
I want to
It,
say
it,
sorry.
it's all
Sorry
based.
before
It's all
Abdullah.
based. It's
Can
all
I say
based on
something?
understanding. It's all based on understanding. Um, one thing, ladies. Normally, I tell ladies they should know. Naturally, we men is specific. We are egoistic in nature. So there comes when you as a woman should leverage. It's based on understanding. Let me just give a
Okay,
story. There was a
question.
time,
Abdullah, wait, I have a question for you. Right. You keep
yeah.
saying late. What about if you can say, I know you come from a man point of view, but it's not just only late, right?
No, I'm
What
gonna come for men. I'm gonna
you?
come for men. I know. I'm gonna come.
Uh,
I
go
still
ahead.
have time to build my point
Go
for the
ahead.
men.
Go ahead.
Okay, fine. I know Ezen is itching. She wanna come in.
Please let me say
Okay,
something.
okay,
I
Ezen, say
love it.
something.
I love it when African men quote that scripture. Wives,
Okay.
submit to your husbands like
Sorry, guys.
Christ.
We have our brother
Yeah.
Pal. Friend is just Pal. Pal, can you say hello to us, please? Pal. Pal friend. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Say
Yeah, I can
hello.
hear everybody. Hello guys.
Uh,
I'm
okay.
new, but I'm just listening, trying to like
Fine.
catch up. Carry on.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pal. Okay.
I
For those of you that are
yeah.
watching, watch us from PROIB blog, and you can watch us as well on Bantu blog, and you can watch us from Daughters of Sierra Leone, and you can watch on my personal platform, Rita Felleh Arah. Thank you. Welcome again, Paul. Anything else? Go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ezen.
okay. So I was saying, yeah. So I was saying that if you read that scripture, it says husbands should love their wives like Christ loved the church. You are a Christian. If the Holy Spirit is speaking to you, is the Holy Spirit harsh? If God is talking to you, is he aggressive? It's like Christ. If you love your wife like Christ, your wife will submit to you. Oh, totally. It
Okay,
is
okay,
easy to
Ezen.
submit when a husband is loving. The problem African men have is they don't know how to show love, but they want you to submit. See what Mama was saying. Like I use that analogy. It's great. Let's go to that scripture, right? Husbands love your wife like Christ, the church. Submit to your the Christ that you worship. Is he harsh to you? Is he dominating you? Is he forcing you? Christianity is never about forcing. It's never about enforcing will. I'm a Christian, and I've never seen when Jesus will hold my hand and say you must do it. So there's no way. Let's not even go there. If not, if you want to enter Bible, we'll enter the Bible. We'll finish
Hey,
Okay,
it.
okay. Let me come in. Let me come in.
okay,
Ezen, you see, there's a
Abdullah.
problem. Yeah, yes, ma.
Okay,
There's a
sorry.
problem.
Just a minute, Abdullah. We have Pal
Okay.
Fred here. We haven't heard from him, so let him give us his own what he thinks. And welcome, Pal Fred, again, and thank you for be with us here today. Happy Sunday once again. So if you're ready to shoot, let me know, Pal Fred. Can you hear me?
Uh, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, guys. Hello, ladies. um, I think I've been online with you guys like less than 5 minutes, so it's a bit early for me to say something. But I'll just maybe just touch on one thing that I've been hearing since I'm online, which is basically any two things: submission and obedience. You know, for my own personal experience, um, for me, at the start of the day, we are both human. The lady is a human, you the man, of course you're a human. So we both have our emotions, we both have our brains, our thoughts, our plans, and all these things. Um, in a marital setup, for me, in a marital setup, the lady is supposed, right, to submit. There's a huge difference between um, obedience and submission.
That's
To be
just the
really
factual
honest, there's
reality,
like a
Alfred.
huge difference between obedience when a woman obeys her husband and when the same woman basically sub yeah, yeah, when the same woman submits to the same husband. There's a huge difference with those two words and the actions they carry. For my own personal experience, it's hard, especially for women. So I don't know, it's basically for women to submit. But at the end of the day, when you look at it in other contexts, submission also goes with basically the man, like what the guy has to offer, what he's been doing, if he's been faithful, if he's been loyal, and all these things. So that basically contributes to the fact that the woman submits to the man. I'll stop there for now.
Great. Today, I will introduce my, some Melrose Tamuke. Oh, there. Melrose, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hey, sis. Hi. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. I'm Youth Ambassador Mero Stamuke from Sierra Leone. I'm a relationship counselor, and I'm so excited to be here. I've been trying to join like over 20 minutes now, but unfortunately, I couldn't. Yes, sis. What's up?
All right, Melrose, you've heard, I believe, while you're joining, sorry for the trouble joining us here today. We're happy to have you here.
She she invited
Can you,
me and I
Hi,
came
Essay.
before her. Unfortunately
Hi,
for her.
Samuel.
hi. So, can you
Hi,
just go
Abdullah.
into what we were saying about relationship? I'm sure you've heard what we all have just said. So, if you can just give us your own part and listen to what you have to say.
Well, just about a minute ago, we're talking about submission. And I think submission just comes naturally. And this is something that a lot of African men struggle with, thinking that submission should be imposed. And I think it's rather the opposite, because if you want a woman to submit to you, you have to give her reasons too. And for someone like me, when you're submissive and when you're caring, when you're loving, when you treat me like the queen I am, submission just comes naturally. I mean, like, I'll treat you like the king you are. So I think it's a two-way thing. But unfortunately, the way our African brothers see this submission thing is, I'm the man, you're supposed to do it. And it's your duty. I mean, it's in the Bible that a woman should submit to her husband, and the woman should love the husband and all of that. But I think relationship is, sometimes people just take advantage of you. Honestly, that's what I think is happening currently, because there's so many misplaced priorities right now, and so many people do a lot of things in the name of love when it's not really about love. So yeah, that's what I have to say for now.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I will see Abdullah smile. Like Mel just said, I believe I agree with her 100%, because when you look at anything, our husbands or our relationship, we felt like, okay, because this has been the typical thing. And even when you go to the Bible, like I said before, tonation matters. How you communicate things to me matters. How you tell me download the whole stuff, it really matters. Like for me, I having a hard time when I was dating my. I like to tell story a lot because I all those things happen to me. So I like to myself. I don't like to people because I about people. So when I was dating, my husband used to she is the expectations is too much.
Mm-hmm.
When we get into a relationship, we're expecting this person should be perfect. This person should have an A game. This person should have this degree. This person should be has a body like Nash. And it's not that way. If you met me, okay, let's say for example, I'm 250 pounds. You watch the dating, or if we met on a dating site or whatever it is, you know that that's what you're expecting. But when you see me and you have this reaction in your face, like, why is she so big? Not even acknowledging, like, hey, hello, Susie, how are you? It was nice meeting you. What clicks in the mind is, and these things have been happening. We For our African men, we see a lot of good women every day. We go through them every day, but because of in their mind what registered there, she has to be like Kim Kardashian, the body. And so that what causes now a lot of our sisters. Everybody wants to look nice. Everybody wants to has this big old booty. Everybody wants to have the breast standing up in. Even myself, like sometimes I ask my husband, like, "Hi, my belly is so big after having 3 kids." Like, "Oh, you fine, baby," but I'm I'm sorry. He was like, "Wait, I, you were not who you were," but that what comes in tolerance. And a lot of times, like there's some days I don't feel like talking. There's some days I don't feel like anything at all, because one, if you used to be in a certain way and now you are not what you felt like you should be, so guess what, you feel low of yourself. You feel like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm not the person that I am. I feel like that. Okay, I feel like sometimes I feel like with having 3 kids, I'm not as beautiful as I used to look. I feel like as much as people tell me every day, but I need it. I need to hear that from my spouse, right? To tell me every day, oh baby, you look beautiful. And there was one thing that he said to me the other day. I was like, oh, my tummy is so big. Oh, and so he said, Rita, do you want to die? I say, no, why? He said, I love you the way you are. I don't want you to die. I want us, when our kids are getting married, for us to dance and enter mother and father of the groom. So I was like, okay, let me take a chill pill. Let me appreciate myself. So it depends on who you are with and how much they appreciate you in their life. So I'm gonna let anyone that wants to throw in what I
Uh,
said, and then
uh,
we can go.
let me come in again. Let me come in. We're still on this. We haven't digested this topic properly. We're still on this issue of submission. When I started making my point, I told you submission is allowing your will, your thought, and all what you know to be neutralized under the man which God has placed on top of you. Let's get this point clear. So let me just, you see, the problem why a lot of relationships are failing these days is because people don't know their actual role they should play in the relationship. Our mothers in those days, mama, they didn't attend marriage counseling. They didn't attend marriage seminars, but they succeeded. Their marriages succeeded. Why? Because in those days, people were being brought up. Let me just come with this story. I actually got this story when I was watching Apostle Johnson Suleiman, one of his tape. I think dating and courtship, one of your falling, how to fall in love and not to fall into trouble, something like that. He said there was this instance wherein this woman came one day from work. As soon as she entered into the house, in their matrimonial bedroom, She met a man with another woman. Do you know what the woman did? She greeted them, they answered. She came at the parlor, she took juice and crackers to eat. The man saw, the woman saw, and where the shopper is the same parlor. They passed there, they greeted her, she answered. After the man has already gone and dropped the woman, she came and she asked the married woman, he said, how did you manage to do this? It was just a single word. The woman told the man, he said, I have refused to die for your bad character. Do you see the level of submission here? In this our generation, if such happen now, can the young lady actually pull herself together in condoning that particular situation? That will be the end. That will be the end. Not so.
Abdullah, put it in this one where you're going on the men's side, right?
Mama, coming.
Okay.
No.
Mama, let me just finish. Okay. Okay. I'm done with that. So the number 4 point I want to make about when it comes to dating and courtship, let me just come down to the guys. For guys, when you're entering into dating and courtship, you should be knowledgeable. You see, women like men who are knowledgeable. When a woman bring a topic, you have an idea into that topic. As a guy, learn, be knowledgeable, read books. The Bible says it is better for the man to teach than the woman to teach. So be knowledgeable. You can't just be like these parliamentarians in Freetown who are in the back. Yeah, who when others have already made their submission, they are in the back, they say, we will concur and support. So, Mama, let me stop here.
Okay, thank you. Bye. So, I don't know. Other panelists, I've seen someone wants to say something. Someone.
Yes, like the topic we have at hand says dating and courtship, right? As much as I want us to still go back to that topic and discuss more, this matter of confusion, I think we need to just agree so that we can pass the message you get. Because like what Mama, everyone has said, Meryl's shared our concerns and a point of view regarding submission, especially when it comes to African men. And like Abdullah said the other time, for us to understand really the concept of marriage, it's not possible for us not to go back to the source, which is the scriptures. I want to believe that even the Quran, the Bible have similar record, but I'm a Christian. I know more about the Bible. One thing I have come to realize personally, when I started my relationship with my wife now, and we started, and I tell you, attraction, like we said in dating, I didn't date. Let me clear that. Like those processes, they are not sacrosanct. Like when you date, you must court. After court, then you propose to be married. And it's not necessary it goes that way, because not everybody will follow that process. Okay, some people don't date. I don't date. All right, like what Abdullah said the other time, that okay, it was Essay that made mention of the fact that okay, you have the Spirit of God in you and all of that. When I saw her, I know she was the one. Fine, I don't really have that first sight attraction towards her, but I have a witness in my spirit that is your wife. Okay, but let me not even go deep into that. Let me come to what exactly I want to talk about regarding the submission matter. Mero said something that really struck, that if a guy treats her like a queen that she is, then by default she will submit and treat that guy like the queen, like the king that he is. I think that works really well. If we understand it from the basis of the scriptures, we get to know that the role is well cleared and explained. All right, it said, husband, love your wife, and wife, submit to your husband. So for me, let me come from the perspective of the husband. Now, you all agree with me that before you become a husband, You must have been a fiancé before you become an husband. So I believe that a good boy becomes a good man. So let's just take it from that side that, okay, even if you are still dating or courting, as the case may be, this rule still applies to you, because I know that men still demand for submission even when they are here to pay the dowry. All right.
Yes,
So
that's true.
the husband, love your wife. Then wife, love or submit to your husband. And there is a clause there. The day I understood that clause, I even fear marriage. It said, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church, and wife, submit unto your husband as unto the Lord. Meaning that for any man to actually demand submission from the wife, you must love your wife like Christ loved the church. And what was the kind of love that Christ had for the church? It's the kind of love that he gave his life for the church, not because church was perfect. So, because we were not perfect. So, meaning that it is not like a good wife or a bad wife. As long as this person is your wife, or you have decided to live the rest of your life with this person, then you have work to do. But the fact is that we are not ready to work on one another. We demand that you should know. You should know this is how you should greet me. You should know this is what you should do. It doesn't work that way. See, there are some things that my wife complained, my fiance complained about when we were in courtship, that I still do them till date, because they are things I've been doing for long. Not like they are bad outrightly, but because we didn't grow up together. She lived all her life in the northern part of Nigeria. I live all my life in the southwestern part of Nigeria. Different culture. So it's normal. It's difficult for me to change those things. There are things she does too that I don't really like, but I have come to understand to love her and live with her. So I think when men understand this basis of love, submission will not be difficult. So if you don't love, don't expect submission. So in fact, the basis is love your spouse before you demand submission. For that man that brought a lady to their matrimonial bed and did that immorality, and the wife, man, that wife tried. Actually, I gave it to her. But for that man to even do that and feel comfortable to greet his wife, then drop that woman, then come back and ask her, how did you cope? For me, that guy no do well, no do well. So I think if that person love the wife, that should not even happen in the first place. So that's that about that. But when it comes to dating and courtship that we talk about, fine. After you have established the point of attraction, that is where the learning come, but which most people fail to do today. What we see in courtship today is going to restaurants to eat pizza and soda, to go beach and club. You don't know much about this guy. You don't know the kind of job he's doing, the kind of business he's into. You don't know the parents. You don't know the culture. In fact, you'll be surprised that you don't even know the blood group, the genotype. You don't know. And you begin to hear we were in courtship for 5 years. For crying out loud, what are you doing in that courtship for 5 years and you didn't know all this information? So after establishing the attraction, like, okay, I like this person, or I think this person is intelligent. This guy is hardworking. This lady is intelligent, is beautiful. I think I want to know this lady better. Then in that phase of knowing, ask deliberate questions. Those deliberate questions are what we fail to ask today that eventually cause problem when we eventually get married. Before you now say, okay, fine, I haven't known all I want to know about you, I still want to go ahead to marry you. It's very important. So it's not like it must be from dating to courtship, all of that. Yours can start from courtship, yours can start from dating, but the most important thing is that try to know every necessary information that you need to know about this guy, and believe that person is not perfect. Anything can happen. Let me stop there for other panelists to contribute.
All right,
Wow.
thank you.
Wow.
We have Idrisa. I don't know who wants to answer to that. Idrisa Conte.
What is the
There,
question?
just a minute.
Okay, let me try to see if I can be able to answer Idrisa's questions well. So, about 2 weeks ago, I got the same question from one of my followers. Idrisa says, I am a Christian, but it's against my religious beliefs to engage into immoral acts. But it's hard to or avoid all of those being in a courtship. That is very true. To be honest, it is very true. And it would be very unrealistic nowadays to tell people to abstain, because abstinence is not as easy as our pastors make it to be, or our religious leaders make them to be. It isn't. And if you are into relationship thing, it's hard because there are people who gaslight you generally when you refuse to have sex with them. Like, where do you want me to get it from? Oh, so now you're sending me into the street to go to be sleeping with other people, right? You don't love me. You don't want this relationship, right? I mean, so many people prey on people's fear because they want them to be available anytime, any day they want to have sex with the person. So what I did was I advised this guy to talk to the girlfriend, to explain to her his urge and the repercussion of her not having sex with him, because he also stated that this was a lady who was very influential and instrumental in his life. Then I told him that you have to outweigh the good and the bad, because it's not possible to have everything in one person. There are flaws, and there are times that you cannot be able to make use of everything you have with just one person. So you have to strike a compromise. So I told him that if this person is very instrumental to your future, try to compromise. Tell her that, okay, I want this to work, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to have sex now, or I know you don't want to have sex now. let me just let me just be honest with you. If you cannot give me sex, I'm gonna go out in the streets to have sex. That could be option one. Option two is, okay, let's get married, let's do the right thing. Because this question is coming from a guy, and I think guys are the most difficult when it comes to settling down, because our African sisters, most of us want to get married, want to feel fulfilled. It's very few of us that don't have that kind of mindset, like, okay, I want to settle down in order for me to feel fulfilled. So he should be able to talk with the girlfriend to be able to know. Oh, okay, someone in the background. To be able to know that this is something that I cannot be able to do, but can you be able to be patient with me to get married? Because the truth is, everybody has urges, and not everybody can be able to control their urges. So it's just left with the means of communication, how understandable him and his partner are. So that's what I have to say for that question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Rose, I
you.
have a question for you. Just a follow-up question.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, towards them. But do you know that it's very risky for us to be in courtship and not to have sex? What if
I do.
when we end up when the relationship ends up into marriage, then I now realize that this individual, we are not sexually compatible? That's my question.
Well, for me, I hold my personal views about sex in relationship, and I think it's a very risky thing to do, honestly, because what if the person is impotent? Let's just say they're impotent, and they're not even they don't even have erection, and then you've gone before man and God to exchange vows, and then all of a sudden you find out that you've been duped. Like, what do you do? Forever is a long time to go. For me, I think it's risky. I cannot take that risk. I keep telling people, because me, I'm very open when it comes to that. I have to ensure that you can be able to handle me, to take care of me. It's not just the financial aspect. I also have needs, you understand? So I have to make sure that you're capable. I don't want to be duped, man. I cannot.
Can I come in? Mama, Mama, I like my Rose. She's bold.
Ah,
But honestly speaking, it's risky for
Someone is laughing.
Okay, I want to
seriously.
say something. I want to say something.
Let me just make a simple submission. Then I know, Walfred, you want to say something? Let me just end with this. Even though it's
I
risky,
want to say something.
I can still remember, Mama, in those days. When I was going to school, high school. there was this young lady I was dating. Honestly speaking, Melrose, there are some people you date. You can be afraid. There are some young ladies you meet into your life. You can even be afraid that let's go into the room. I have experiences of so many cases. You understand? Eh? Even though the risks there, the risks involved, but you outweigh the risks. The risk there is too much. But because honestly speaking, Melrose, I don't want to end up in a relationship with someone I'm not sexually compatible with.
You don't
That's
want
why
to
a
be
lot of
duped,
people end
in
up
short.
cheating. Yeah, that's why a lot of people end up cheating these days.
Okay.
Exactly. So for
Yeah.
me,
Okay.
sex is a very
Okay.
important component when it comes to marriage, relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to ensure that the person understands your body. Our body is very unique and it's different from everybody else you meet. Like you have to understand that your partner's sexual needs may vary from yours. Some people like dirty talking. Some people hate dirty talking. For some people, it turns them on like up to 100. No sooner you start talking dirty to them, no sooner you start kissing their ears, the back of their neck, it turns them on as hell. You know, you have to understand what turns your partner on. For some
For
people,
sure, for sure.
it's for some people it's physical, they have to see. For some people, you just have to do dirty talking with them, and for some other people you have to do the action itself to get them on. So it's just different depending on who you meet. That is why you have to understand your partner, spend more time with them, be in their space to understand them. Everybody's needs is different, and for some people
My
they like doing
my
they like
network
giving
is
head. some
dying.
people some people like head, some people don't like head. And if you are a man and the person you're dating cannot go down on you,
May,
and you
May
tell them
Rose, we have
severally,
a pastor here. Oh. Samuel is a pastor.
I think Samuel understands the concept as well. Samuel is a married man and he's
It's
sexually
allowed.
active. I know that, so he understands where I'm coming from.
But
I'm okay.
usually when you are
I seriously,
So,
seriously.
so,
like,
so as I was
someone is
saying, let me just complete this thing. Yeah, if the
Okay.
person you're dating likes when you give him head, and you are a person who's
I
like,
want to come
oh
in. I
me,
want to
I
come.
don't I don't suck dick,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
like
no,
dick.
no,
Like,
I want to come in. No, no.
how can that relationship work? How can it work? Like, what the person loves, the person has told you, and you're telling that, oh, that's nasty, I don't do that. No, girl, you have to understand.
I want to say something regarding that. I would like to contribute based on these two words that are in this question. The guy said, "I am a Christian, and it's against my religious belief."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to come from that angle. Okay, actually, I will not state that. Okay, you must have sex before you get married. You must do this. But although my own opinion, I would say abstinence is the best, right? But I won't
Mm-hmm.
impose abstinence on anybody. You understand?
Yeah.
Everyone has their decision to make regarding that. But based on the religious belief that this guy made, I want to stress some point. It is against your religious belief, and my advice will be you don't go ahead. Fine, it's normal to have this urge. I courted my fiancée for 5 years before we got married. Am I saying I don't have urge? Oh my God! Like I said earlier, she's beautiful. Of course, I have seen her several times. I'll just look at her like, if I catch this baby, in my heart, I know that time. This is sin. Oh. There was a time I had to call my pastor that day she came visiting to greet me, and I hugged her. Do you understand? I'm talking based on my religious belief now. Let's
Mm-hmm.
try and I hugged her, but that hug, I know it's not just like normal conventional hug, you just hug anybody. So in my heart, I was like, I already had her tight. I lost my spirit was not comfortable based on my religious belief now, my Christian belief, my faith. I called my pastor. I said I committed fornication. He said, "What? What happened?" I said, "My fiancée," and he knows my fiancée. I explained to her like I hug her in a way that I know that in my heart it's not And he said, okay, like it's because I love her that like I just pray, all of that. So person like me, sex before marriage is like you understand. I waited. And sincerely, I will ask this question. If we say that you have to check the guy whether he can undo me or the babe can undo me well before I marry her, all right? If I do it with this one, I discover that this guy or this babe cannot undo me well, I drop her. I have to test another person to also confirm. Then when will I? Do you understand? And you know what? This is what comes in Africa today. In Africa, all these energetic drink for sex enhancing drugs is everywhere. I've been to Sierra Leone, I've been to Ghana, in Nigeria. It's something that is everywhere now because of the fact that the demand, guys have tried it everywhere before they get married. The wife cannot satisfy them anymore. Babes also tried it everywhere, tried slim, big, everything before they eventually settle with this guy. And
But Samuel,
demanding,
is a trial error now?
you understand? So guys now need to be enhancing themselves with several things. I think we are if care is not taken, we'll be like trying to solve a problem by creating several other problems, knowing fully well that we are even going against the will of God. You understand? So I will advise that if I get married and I believe that my wife will know how to cook because we stay far away before we got married, and eventually I've been eating her food for the past 3 years and I still continue to eat her food, then why can't we do the same thing? And Conte said something the other time. He said that I'm trying to rush because of time. He said that guys need to read, right? I will not deceive you. When I got married, it was
I think it's network. Okay. Abdul,
Wow.
close with
Mama, we have to extend to this time.
oh,
We'll go
that's fine.
till
It-
till
it-
8:30 because
and you
people
know,
are actually enjoying this topic.
yeah,
I
guys,
I
Yeah.
think for me, I see what someone is trying to say, but I still think it's risky. I stand with Abdullah on that.
no,
Very
Melvin,
risky.
I
I think
agree.
Very.
it's risky.
That
For
was back
me,
in the days. That
Yeah.
was back in the days. I have a friend. She's from Ghana, and she's a big gospel artist. Empress Gifty, and so we were together, and she was just telling us the other day.
Let's go.
Um,
Let's catch up with that.
our pastors or our ministers, they want us to stay in that race.
Sorry, I just got it.
They want us to like just think, just do it. If you can do it, it's okay. But I can do it. You know, I can I can do it. Said, okay, I have to wait till I'm married to, or like we are, what about if you try you didn't like it, but I know already what I've already tasted, and I already have the taste in my mouth. It's like, okay, we can walk through some other stuff, right? And I have two friends of mine, they're Black Americans, and they get married, the love was great, everything was great, and later on they've been together for like maybe 10 years, and then the husband can perform how they expected, right? But would I leave my husband for that? No. But with the Black Americans, it's different, right? And how some women, their sex drive is different. How crazy they could go, it's different, right? So she said to me, two of them, they said, you know what, Rita, I can't do this anymore. And I said, what do you mean? I said, so you're gonna throw away all those years? She said, girl, I need to be happy. I need what I need. And he's not even trying to meet me halfway. He's not even willing for us to try other things, other options. So it depends on the individual to say, you know what, I want to try this because of this is not working, but the ego comes in. I'm a man. And if you see this guy's buffed up, big shoulders, like 6'3", like very huge, but guess what? Down there, it's not working. And guess what? She enjoyed it for a while it lasts, and she was willing to try other stuff. We try all these agbo from Africa, all these roots, all these shasha, everything. He didn't work. He didn't want it to try. That's just the point. Coming from Africa, he sees it like, okay, is this not gonna work? If he's gonna make that thing raise, why don't you do it? But he didn't care. He felt like, you know what? I've had sex all my life. And guess what? Bitch, bye. But that should not be the only option. And say, you know what? If you can do one thing, if you are high and you want to get it done, if you can do, how about fire play? How about, you know what? Make it up. Make something up. But most of us as if you dating a girl and the girl wants to show what she has, and when I was dating my husband, I tell him this every day. If you want to think, because if a girl did something in the bedroom, a man, African, typical African mind, they said, oh, this one a co. It's be all the moves. No, we look at stuff as much as you guys do things to please us or to make sure you are this GQ guy or he's so smart. But we do our own research to see what we can do to make you feel comfortable. It doesn't mean if you are with me, we're in the bed, and I'm doing something strange, you think like, okay, this lady is a prostitute, or oh, she knows all this more. Women, we do research. We look at stuff and say, you know what? Like, so don't be that man to say, because I told my husband now, when we met at the first time, I said, if you want to think about me, but this is what I want. I like you. Think, I want to express myself, and I should be able to express myself in the bedroom. For you not to have this meaning like, oh wow, why she's, or she's standing on the beach side, or she's in a towel, or she's this, or she. So I believe we should have mindset other. So we will go off our way to learn all this more. So anyone has anything to say?
Alfred.
Alfred. Okay, Abdullah, go ahead then.
Okay. I think this issue of sex, is a topic that hasn't been dealt properly.
Yeah.
When it comes to even our
yeah. Network issues. I'm having network issues.
Okay, my brother.
And the
please.
audio. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
So the topic has not, in fact, most churches these days, they see sex as a topic not to discuss, but it's very important and it's very vital in marriage, be it marriage, be it relationship, is a very important topic to be discussed and dealt with. A lot of
they look at it like it's a taboo.
A lot of marriages has been broken today because of this issue. Let me just quote unquote. We have a particular. That's why I like a particular tribe in Sierra Leone called the Mende. The Mende, for instance, when you are about to go and marry a particular Mende young lady, you say it boldly there, quote unquote. Say what you can marry this speaking for. And for that business, they say it there boldly. And even if the young lady is not cooperative, you can take the complaint to the parents. Say, this young lady, she has done this. Melrose, isn't it so?
Yeah, it's true. For the Mendes, it is very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah. So there's something.
That is, if you drive out a Mended girl, it's easy to overcome. Yeah. They can cook. They know how to sex. They know how to take care of their men. Like they literally give you no reason there. So it becomes really difficult for you to overcome.
True, Melrose, but in Africa, that's how we were, right? If you express yourself, and I went through that a lot. Growing up as girl, we felt like, okay, if you do this is what people gonna think about you. So other culture has that as well, and even in churches, my pastor always tell us like, don't tie wrapper in your chest. Go to Victoria's Secret, wear something sexy, look nice, look attractive, right? But back in the days, And I know a lot of pastors that are married to young women, but they don't tie wrapper in their chest, right? They don't tie wrapper on their chest. No, these women visit all anything you think of that you can know in terms of sex, right? But that was back in the days. But now reality is kicking in. And most of these people, they know that these things we are saying it's correct, but they just don't want to say it in congregation to tell you, like, oh, my pastor said, for you to quote them. Okay. And a lot of marriages are breaking up, a lot of relationships are breaking up because of we are not getting the right information. It doesn't mean you do this to your partner, that doesn't make you a bad person. But I'm thinking now Christianity is becoming now like in the days where carved, like you're just in a cage where you can express. And Matthew did say you should not do this one, and this one say you should not do this one. But guess what? Our emojis, do they fight in their marriage? Yes. Do they go through all those things we are going through? Yes. Are they? But you know, it's when you say something now. If I say something now, oh, Rita is a bad person. Oh, she's bad. She's out of the world. Oh, she's doing bad things. But guess what? If it's making your marriage work, girl, do it. If sucking that dick gonna make your husband happy, do it. If making turning, getting it from the
That's
back,
just a factual reality, Mama. Some of us we like going down there.
gonna make you happy, do it. When I was cutting with my husband, I tell him, what you think of me, I don't care. But guess what? A girl got to do what she has to do. And I've already looked him up. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm watching all those videos, how I want to explore, how I want to do my thing. But guess what? It doesn't mean it can work for you, because like what Meryl was saying is some guys like to just hear the talk, dirty talk. Some guys like for you to be on hands deck, the practical, right? Some guys just want you to be that Holy Mary thing. But some guys like to see you being a bad girl. And guess what? If you like to see me being a bad girl, I'm going to be that bad girl. If you love to see me being Mary Amaka, I'll put Mary Amaka garments. But guess what? That's slave. I believe in I should be able to be myself. I should be able to express myself. I should be able to tell, like, babe, oh, this is how I feel, babe. Let's go and do it. For my husband now, I tell her, I feel like this. He say, hey, Rita, you and your matter too strong. So I said, may I go ask somebody else? He said, no. Oh yeah, let's go. You understand? So, but I think that it should be open. Now, that's why a lot of our young, beautiful ladies, they feel like, okay, if I'm dating someone, if it's like we went on a first date, nothing is happening, or he's not saying anything. Sometimes some people just want to have a conversation. If you're dating someone, sometimes they just want to go get a drink and talk and to see where your level is, right? And if you guys didn't, doesn't mean that it doesn't like you, but probably you guys are not connecting. Something is disconnecting somewhere. Keep dating the other person. Not okay, because if this person, I date this person, oh, they said the party day, no, go Ashobi, would go where Ashobi, no, go dance. No, you don't do it like that, girl. If you date this person, you talk, and there's a man for every woman, there's a woman for every man. So I always tell someone, when I was looking for a relationship, I was looking for somebody that has a fear of God in them and loves God. That's what I was looking for. But God just blessed me. I have it all. And I'm grateful for that, right? So when I talk to him, sometimes people's like, why are you looking with somebody that has God? Because I come from a different background. So I needed that for somebody that is very spiritual. I needed that. That's what I want. I know it sounds dumb, but that's what I wanted. But some people have different things that they want in a relationship. Some people want a banker, like Samuel. Some people want someone that someone is a model. Somebody has six packs. Everybody has what they want. That's what I said. It's a man for every woman. There's a woman for every man. It depends. Someone saying something?
Yeah, I say you are correct. Maybe one of these days, we'll have a session on these sexual issues in marriage. because I personally I will not feel comfortable discussing sexual issues with singles. So maybe one
But
of
it's
these.
very important.
No,
That's
no
what
problem, no
people
problem.
keeps it
Some of us will discuss, no problem.
no, keep it
No
also.
Well,
problem.
singles that want to learn can join, of
Now,
course. But
very important in a
but
relationship.
these
How
days we see divorce.
Samuel, you marginalizing myself now and Melrose. We are not
we,
married, no problem. By next week we'll marry. They will join the
No, 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 no,
discussion.
no, 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 no. What I mean by single, I'm not even talking about us here. I'm talking about, some people, by just hearing, they can, you understand what I'm talking about. So what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say is that one of these days we have discussion, like, because we see issues happening these days, especially when it comes to the so-called religious homes, where issues like these that shouldn't cause divorce or separation are happening,
eh,
because we're not ready to learn.
no, we
Like I
are
was
not.
saying before the network sent me out the other time, learning is something that is very important, irrespective of the level you are. Before I got married, right, I read books. I read this one, Tim Lahaye, Why You Act the Way You Do, Five Love Languages, all of these books, sexual relationship in marriage. I read this Happy Woman, or what they call it, about this women chemistry. I read everything, but sir, it is different from the reality.
For sure.
By
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Because
but
for
what
yes,
you
sure.
yes.
meant was the
For sure.
right,
Yeah.
By
it, it is
Yeah.
the time,
now.
The
by the time
experiences
it was
Different.
time
can be different.
to really,
it is.
Yeah.
find
Very different.
all of those information helped. But by the time it was time, an amateur will always be an amateur. Do you understand? Something you are not good at, but one beauty about it is that it's like when mama is trying to learn Nigerian meals, to prepare Nigerian meals for her husband. Of course, I Chief knows that I'm getting married to a Sierra Leone woman. Of course, he knows that she will not know everything about Nigerian meals. But Mama learned all of those things. She was telling me the other time she made a wedu, she made amala. You understand? Meaning that she was ready to learn and give the husband the African delicacy, the Nigerian delicacies. Do you understand? So if I get married, like when I got married, really, there are some things that my wife will tell me, like, I want it this way. Do you understand? And I have to do it that way. Like, okay, baby, good that way. Sometimes we tell her this is what I want. So we learn. And that learning phase is the beauty of it. It is fun. In fact, the point, I am happy that both of us we are not professional when it comes to that before we got married, because we learned together, we grew together, and today we are pro together. We are on the same level. Not
Well
like
done,
some
well done. Let's
not
clap
like
for
someone
them.
that become a pro. When me, I'm still a learner. You understand? And now coming together, we die now. Do you understand? So I think even when learners come together like that and you're learning together, you will grow together. Your learning phase will be together. The fun will be together, and you can probably say, "I trained you," and she will tell you, "I trained you too." That is the fun. So me, I feel that for that guy that asked that question, if it's you believe that that's your belief about your faith, don't go ahead. Speak to her.
Yes.
Tell her you are trying to preserve her for that wonderful night when you will display how good you are. And if how good you are is not enough, you are ready to learn from her, to teach you to become better. I think that's
But
my
now,
opinion when it comes to
Samuel,
that.
Chicago,
Samuel,
that
I think
doesn't work.
that only works. That only works when you meet the individual as a virgin.
But we don't have now. Let's just don't fool
It only
ourselves.
works. Melrose,
No,
I don't know if
guys,
I'm correct.
no, let's
Maybe,
Telling me this.
maybe I'm one of
We are in
those
this
lucky
together.
guys.
We are in this together.
Maybe,
uh,
maybe
wait.
I'm one of those lucky guys.
Abdullah, let's
Yeah,
just
maybe
say
I'm one of those lucky guys to find one, right?
For
No,
sure.
like
You see?
it's really
okay,
scarce.
Abdullah,
It's really
Abdullah,
scarce. I'm seeing from
ourselves.
Abdullah's point of view, virgins are really scarce now in the market, and it's really not me. For me, I don't think if someone is a virgin or not a virgin. It just depends on how willing the person is to work with me to develop life together. I
Exactly,
think there are
exactly.
people who are myopic of the future, who are insensitive to people's dreams and aspirations. What is important is not whether you met me a virgin or not. It's how willing I am to work on building your dreams and my dreams as well. Rita, you're muted. most
Yes.
of us get most of us get this wrong. For me, I don't know about anybody. If I meet someone who is a pro man, that's a win for me. Imagine the things that he knows that I don't know. Imagine the enjoyment I will be having, man. Come on, that man can
For
do all the
sure.
things. He can
Mel,
do
Mel.
all the nasty
For
nasty, and
sure.
I don't have a clue about whatever it is that he's learning. I'm just the beneficiary. So for me,
This
I
is
think
exactly
it's
what I'm saying.
too, however it turns out to be. Anyways, that's what I think. My personal views. And
That's
the
right.
problem with relationship these days is unrealistic expectations. Whether it comes to finances, when it comes to romance, when it comes to support, a lot of us have unrealistic expectations with our spouse and our boyfriends and our girlfriends. I mean, you sit alone and you think that this is what person is going to bring to the table, when that might not even be the person's five priority list at that point in time, because everybody has their list of priorities and what they want at their point in time. Maybe at that point in time, what the person wants is to achieve their master's degree, or to have a BSc degree, or maybe it's to start a business. Maybe it's not even to get married. And as soon as the person says they want something serious with you, you're imagining the dates now, you're imagining the colors you're going to choose, where you're going to buy the ashobi. That's not it. You have to converse with the person. You have to be realistic with the person. Say, okay, at this point in life, this and this and this are what I want. What are the things that you want? What are your expectations of me? You have to be able to communicate, and you have to be willing to listen and understand. Because sometimes you can communicate with someone and you choose not to understand them. It doesn't mean that you're not communicating, but your level of understanding is low as hell. So you might as well not communicate anything with the person.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
We have
So
our brother Abdullah. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can introduce yourself. I know it's late. Mr. Abdullah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I don't think
Uh,
he can.
that guy don't want to talk.
Okay, but what Mel said, we all have given it all today. And to me, for our young brothers, young sisters that are looking for a relationship, or when you're dating someone, just observe, see what you're looking for, know what you want in a relationship, know if this is going to work out. Be very attentive, pay attention, see what this person likes, see what they don't like, and take notes. If you have to take your book and pen, write. Our grandma, them, they didn't do that. So I can't compare myself and say I want to be like my grandma. No. I don't want to be like her. Do I want to be like my mom? No. I don't want to be like her. But what I want to be like, I want to be like me, reader. And I want to express myself. I want to do better. I want to learn. I want to get to know who I'm with. He wants
Yeah.
to know well. And let's just come and get to that drawing board and say, this is what I wanted. I love this person for this person. And that, I
Mm.
believe, courtship. And then we go and say, oh, I want to take this person down the aisle. So we've said it all today. We've been here today. At this time, I know we've been here for the longest. We've passed our time. So for this time, I would love to thank PROIB blog, and I would love to thank Bantu blog as well, and Daughters of Sierra Leone, and Rita Felleh Arah. And I would love to thank my wonderful and amazing, amazing guests who will come back definitely, because I see we all have this conversation. We have to come back with it again. So for now, we have to tell our viewers we have to draw the curtain. But before we do that, I would love to for Melrose to say goodbye to our family and tell them where they can get reach out to you on your Facebook angles or media platforms that they could get in touch with you as well.
Okay, you can contact me on Facebook, A Moment with Mel, and on how do you call it? TikTok Moment with Mel as well. And you can reach out to me on 076 461 541. Since you guys have made me active since the day started, you guys have taken my brain very widely. Me, I'm thinking about geek, I'm thinking about sucking. You guys are just not good today to me. But anyways, it's fun. Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate Thank you very much. I look forward to having this conversation and even a more exciting one in the future. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. So, Abdullah, want to say where I'm to you and where they can catch you.
Okay, I want to use this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude first to Mama, and of course all the speakers. My able man Samuel, of course. For the very first time, myself and Samuel have been in bone of contention. But this particular topic, we didn't see eye to eye.
It happens.
So, of course, that goes by the name Abdullah Kemokonte.
I
I'm
saw
the
it
founder
coming
and
already
CEO.
before.
I'm the founder and CEO of IT Specialists Without Borders. I also happens to be a World Summit Global Award national expert for Sierra Leone. So till then, I would like to sign off. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching us.
And we have here on our back end Mamadou. Thank you for being here. And we have brother, if you can hear Abdullah. And Abdullah. I'm so sorry, guys. Abdullah, you can hear me. I want to thank our brother earlier on, and I use this time to thank PROIB blog, and I want to thank Born to Blog here. I want to thank BOSL Daughters of Sierra Leone, and I want to thank myself. I want to thank my back, Alex Dio. I want to say thank you to you. I want to thank Mama for being back, Christian for being there, and till then, we'll be in table talk and let's talk and happy Sunday till we meet again next Sunday. So if you have any topic you want us to discuss, feel free to contact us on Bantu Blog, PROI on USL, so DOSL. Till we meet next time, we will say thank you. We're about to draw the curtain and happy Sunday. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hello.